Have you ever looked in the mirror and wondered if time is being a little too harsh? Or you may feel like your body is running faster than its actual age? Well, believe it or not, a leading genetics professor at Harvard University, who, despite being in his 50s, claims he feels as healthy and energetic as someone in their 20s. Even more astonishing, his biochemical tests show his body is biologically much younger than his chronological age. The person we're talking about is Dr. David Sinclair, and his story doesn't just stop at personal feelings. He has dedicated his entire career to researching aging and has distilled his groundbreaking scientific findings into the book Lifespan: Why We Age and Why We Don't Have to. This book isn't just a research summary. It has genuinely shaped how we view aging. It poses a bold question. Is aging an inevitable law of nature, or is it, in fact, a disease that can be treated, slowed down, or even reversed? Hi everyone, welcome to BookSmart Insights, a channel for sharing knowledge for personal development through good books. It sounds like science fiction, right? But this is where cutting-edge science is heading. And the best part, according to Dr. Sinclair, is that we can start this rejuvenation journey right now through changes in our daily lifestyle, especially our diet. In today's video, BookSmart Insights will unpack the book Lifespan with you and explore the core secrets Dr. Sinclair has applied to hack his biological age. We will learn about 1. Simple yet incredibly effective exercise principles for longevity. 2. You can adopt the most crucial eating habit right now to live longer. 3. The superfoods Dr. Sinclair prioritizes to maintain youthfulness. 4. The supplements he uses and the crucial caveats that come with them. 5. And especially the 5 food groups Dr. Sinclair avoids to keep his body in peak condition, as if he were up to 30 years younger. This isn't just theory, folks. This is what a world-leading scientist has researched, applied, and validated on his own body. Get ready to absorb information that could completely change the way you think about your health and age. Let's embark on this journey to uncover the secrets of longevity together with BookSmart Insights. Before diving into what to eat and how to exercise, we need to grasp the fundamental philosophy in David Sinclair's Lifespan. Traditionally, we accept aging as an unavoidable part of life. Wrinkled skin, gray hair, declining bodily functions, it seems like a one-way ticket everyone must eventually cash in. But Sinclair challenges that notion. He argues that biologically, aging is the accumulation of damage at the cellular and molecular level, leading to functional decline and an increased risk of age-related diseases like heart disease, cancer, and Alzheimer's. If we consider these diseases preventable and treatable, why not view their root cause, the aging process itself, as something we can intervene in? He introduces the information theory of aging. Imagine our bodies have 2 types of information: genetic information, digital, encoded in our DNA like a computer's hardware, which is relatively stable, and epigenetic information, the epigenome, analog, like software, controlling which genes are turned on or off at the right time and in the right cells. Over time, due to factors like DNA damage, inflammation, and lifestyle choices, this epigenetic information gets noisy, scratched, causing cells to forget their original function and perform less efficiently. This, he argues, is the essence of aging. The good news? Unlike permanently mutated DNA, Sinclair believes this epigenetic information can be polished or reset. We can help our bodies remember how to function optimally, like when we were younger. And that's the goal of the interventions he proposes. As the writer Mark Twain once said, age is an issue of mind over matter. If you don't mind, it doesn't matter. Of course, Sinclair doesn't deny biological reality. Still, he gives us the belief that we can control that matter far better than we thought. This perspective is genuinely revolutionary. It shifts us from being passive acceptors of aging to active participants in maintaining our health and youthfulness. It offers hope for a future where 60 might be the new 40, and living actively and healthily into our 80s and beyond is achievable. So, how do we polish that epigenetic information? Let's start with the first principle Dr. Sinclair emphasizes: exercising correctly. Many people think that living long requires gentle, restorative exercise. That's not wrong, but Sinclair offers simpler, perhaps more surprising advice. Exercise intensely enough to get out of breath. Specifically, he advises exercising about 3 times a week, and during each session, dedicating about 10 minutes to push your body to a state where you can't easily hold a conversation. This is a sign you're experiencing mild hypoxia, a slight oxygen shortage. Sounds intimidating. Why deliberately make yourself short of breath? This is where the concept of hormesis comes in. Hormesis is the principle that moderate, controlled stress benefits the body. It's like getting a vaccine, introducing a small amount of a harmful agent to stimulate a stronger immune response. When you exercise intensely enough to induce mild hypoxia, your body interprets it as a danger signal. It responds by boosting muscle growth to better handle future stressful episodes, improving blood circulation, delivering oxygen and nutrients to tissues more effectively, stimulating tissues to release beneficial factors, including compounds that help slow aging and protect cells. Later, we'll discuss activating protective biological pathways, such as the Sirtuin genes. Sinclair believes this state of mild hypoxia is an excellent stimulus, providing the necessary kick for the body to repair and upgrade itself. Just 10 minutes of breathlessness 3 times a week. Sounds achievable, right? You can choose various forms of exercise to reach this state: fast running, cycling uphill, swimming vigorously, high-intensity interval training, HIIT, or even lifting weights to failure. The key is feeling the effort, elevated heart rate, and rapid breathing. As a famous entrepreneur and speaker, Jim Rohn said, "Take care of your body. It's the only place you have to live." Engaging in intermittent, high-intensity exercise is a powerful way to take care of your body at a cellular level. Remember, the goal isn't complete exhaustion, but creating a short-term, purposeful stimulus. Combining these intense sessions with gentler activities like walking or yoga on other days creates a well-rounded exercise regimen for health and longevity. But exercise is only half the story. The other half, perhaps even more crucial, is what we put into our bodies. Let's explore the most critical eating habits Dr. Sinclair follows. If there's one piece of dietary advice Dr. Sinclair emphasizes above all others, it's this: eat fewer meals. He argues that our modern habit of eating 3 main meals plus snacks throughout the day keeps our bodies in a constant state that accelerates aging unnecessarily. Why is that? When we continuously fuel our bodies, they remain in a state of growth and storage. They don't get the downtime needed to activate natural cleanup and repair mechanisms. Conversely, magic happens when we allow our bodies periods of not eating, fasting. This is the principle behind intermittent fasting. Sinclair doesn't just talk about what to eat, but strongly emphasizes when we eat. He shares that he tries to consume all his food within a short window, about 6 hours each day, and fasts for the remaining 18 to 20 hours. His goal is often to eat just 1 large meal a day, usually dinner, which is predominantly plant-based. What's the science behind intermittent fasting? 1. Activating autophagy. This is the cell's housekeeping process. During fasting, cells eat old, damaged components and faulty proteins, recycling them for energy and new building blocks. This process helps remove cellular junk, reduce inflammation, and protect against disease. The discovery of autophagy mechanisms even won the Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine in 2016 for scientist Yoshinori Osumi. That shows how vital it is. 2. Activating sirtuin genes. This group of genes is often called the longevity genes. Sirtuins play critical roles in DNA repair, controlling inflammation, regulating metabolism, and protecting cells from stress. They function best when the body doesn't have excess energy, i.e., low blood sugar and fewer amino acids from protein. Fasting is an effective way to switch on these sirtuin genes, improving insulin sensitivity. Intermittent fasting helps the body use insulin more effectively, leading to better blood sugar control and reducing the risk of type 2 diabetes and other metabolic issues. Supporting brain health. Some research suggests that intermittent fasting can boost the production of brain-derived neurotrophic factors, which help protect brain cells and improve cognitive function. That sounds challenging. How can one fast for so long? Dr. Sinclair shares his tips. Drink plenty of non-caloric fluids, water, tea, especially green tea, black coffee, and warm water. This helps you feel full and reduces hunger pangs. Start slowly. If you're new to intermittent fasting, begin with shorter fasting windows, like 12 hours, eating 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., then gradually increase to 14, then 16 hours. The popular 16-8 method. Eat within 8 hours, fast for 16. Be patient. Your body needs time to adapt. You may feel hungry or tired in the first 1 to 2 weeks, but afterward, your liver learns to produce its own glucose through gluconeogenesis for stable energy, and hunger significantly diminishes. Sinclair emphasizes sticking with it for at least 2 to 3 weeks for the body to truly adjust. If extremely hungry initially, a small handful of nuts or a bit of protein can quickly curb hunger pangs during the adaptation phase. Sinclair asserts, if you can get down to 1 meal a day, which I have, you have to be patient. But then you get to feel what it was like to be 20 again, and it's a wonderful gift. The fasting period is crucial, allowing the body to activate its natural defense mechanisms against aging. This is the single most impactful dietary habit you can adopt. So during the eating window, what should we eat? Let's explore Dr. Sinclair's food choices. When asked about his diet, Sinclair shares he has transitioned to an almost entirely plant-based way of eating and noticed significant positive changes. I look healthier. I think my skin's better. I feel better. My memory is certainly better. He points out that when we look at the blue zones around the world, areas with the highest concentrations of centenarians, like Okinawa, Japan, Sardinia, Italy, and Loma Linda, California, we see a common thread. Their diets are predominantly plant-based and emphasize moderation. However, not all plants are created equal, in Sinclair's view. He places special emphasis on stressed plants. This is another application of the Hormesis principle we discussed in the exercise. When plants face harsh conditions, extreme heat or cold, drought, attacks from insects or microbes, especially organically grown plants not coddled by pesticides, they produce special protective compounds to survive. These compounds, often polyphenols, are the plant's weaponry. Interestingly, when we eat these stressed plants, those polyphenols can activate defense and repair mechanisms within our bodies, similar to how they protect the plant. Sinclair says, "Let your food suffer for you." Some well-known polyphenols Sinclair and his team have studied include resveratrol, found abundantly in the skins of red grapes, hence its presence in red wine, peanuts, and berries. This is the most talked about compound, quercetin, found in onions, apples, broccoli, and tea. Fisetin, found in strawberries, apples, and onions. EGCG, epigallocatechin gallate, highly concentrated in green tea, especially matcha. How do we identify and choose these foods? A simple guideline is eat the rainbow. Focus on fruits and vegetables with vibrant colors, deep reds, dark purples, rich greens, bright oranges, and yellows. These colors often indicate high polyphenol content. Some specific foods Sinclair regularly includes matcha tea. He drinks it most mornings. Matcha is powdered whole green tea leaves, known for their intense green color and highly high EGCG content, and they possess potent anti-inflammatory and anti-cancer properties. Spinach. He particularly highlights this leafy green for its iron, vitamins, and other essential nutrients richness. Extra virgin olive oil. He favors using high-quality olive oil for cooking or salad dressings. Olive oil is a cornerstone of the Mediterranean diet, another blue zone, containing oleic acid and polyphenols that help activate sirtuins. Choose cold-pressed, extra virgin varieties to retain the most nutrients. What if going fully vegan feels too difficult? Sinclair mentions that he followed the Okinawa diet for decades before switching entirely to plants. This diet is still predominantly plant-based, lots of vegetables, purple sweet potatoes, soy, but includes a small amount of fish. He also suggests the Mediterranean diet as another excellent alternative. The key takeaway is to increase the proportion of plants in your diet as much as possible. Focus on a wide variety of colorful fruits and vegetables, and prioritize whole, minimally processed, ideally organic foods. Beyond diet and exercise, Sinclair also utilizes certain supplements. Let's find out what they are, but with necessary caution. Supplements, secret weapons, or a double-edged sword. This is the most intriguing and controversial part of Dr. Sinclair's recommendations. He does use certain supplements to optimize his health and potentially slow aging. However, before diving in, BookSmart Insights needs to stress a few critical points. Sinclair's personal regimen. What works for him may not work or be safe for you. Everyone's biology is different. He is not recommending anyone take these. He merely shares what he does based on his research and available scientific data. Consult your doctor. Always seek advice from a healthcare professional before starting any new supplement, especially if you have underlying health conditions or are taking other medications. Supplements are not magic pills. They should only be considered supportive extras, not replacements for a healthy lifestyle built on a balanced diet and regular exercise. Sinclair also points out a past misconception. People used to think antioxidants were the key to longevity. However, extensive subsequent studies showed that high-dose antioxidant vitamin supplementation didn't yield clear benefits and was sometimes even harmful. The polyphenols from plants we discussed earlier have broader effects beyond simple antioxidant activity. So, what are the three main supplements Sinclair regularly uses? 1. Resveratrol, 1 gram day. As mentioned, this polyphenol is found in red grape skins, berries, etc. Animal studies, yeast, worms, flies, fish, mice, suggest resveratrol can activate sirtuins, extend lifespan, and improve metabolic health. However, human data is limited and inconsistent. Effective dosages and long-term safety are still under investigation. Sinclair takes 1 gram in the morning, often mixed with some yogurt, presumably plant-based, to enhance absorption. 2. NMN, nicotinamide mononucleotide, 1 gram per day. This is a precursor to NAD+, nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide. NAD+ is an incredibly vital molecule in every cell. essential for hundreds of biochemical processes, including energy production and DNA repair. It's crucially required for the sirtuin genes to function. The problem is our NAD+ levels naturally decline with age, potentially dropping by as much as 50% by middle age. This decline is thought to be a major driver of aging and related diseases. NMN provides the raw material for the body to synthesize its own NAD+. Supplementing aims to restore NAD+ levels closer to those of youth. Animal studies show numerous potential benefits of NMN. Some early human clinical trials suggest NMN is safe and may improve specific health markers like insulin sensitivity, muscle function, cholesterol, blood pressure. However, more large-scale, long-term human studies are needed to confirm efficacy and safety. Sinclair takes 1 gram of NMN each morning. 3. Metformin, 800 milligrams, 1 gram per day, but not always daily. This is the most controversial because it's a prescription drug typically used to treat type 2 diabetes. Interestingly, extensive observational studies suggest that people with diabetes taking metformin often live longer than even non-diabetics. It appears to have protective effects against various age-related diseases like cardiovascular disease, cancer, and cognitive decline. Metformin's mechanisms are complex, involving improved insulin sensitivity, reduced inflammation, and influencing aging pathways like mTOR and AMPK. A major clinical trial called TAME, Targeting Aging with Metformin, is currently underway to test whether metformin can actually slow aging in non-diabetic individuals. Absolutely, do not self-medicate with metformin without a doctor's prescription and supervision. It can cause side effects, most commonly gastrointestinal, and is contraindicated for some people, for example, those with kidney problems. Sinclair indicates he uses metformin, but perhaps not every single day, depending on his activity level and diet. Once again, BookSmart Insights wants to reiterate that this supplement section is purely informational regarding Dr. Sinclair's practices. Do not take this as medical advice. The foundation of health and longevity remains a scientifically sound diet and an active lifestyle. So what things should we avoid besides what we should eat and do, according to Sinclair? This is the core part mentioned in the video title. 5 silent enemies of youth you should avoid. Dr. Sinclair doesn't just focus on what to add. He's equally adamant about removing harmful elements. He believes avoiding certain foods is just as important as eating healthy ones. Here are the 5 food groups he strives to minimize or eliminate completely. Silent killer number 1, sugar. If there's one major enemy Sinclair identifies, it's sugar. He strongly emphasizes the harm of excessive sugar consumption, particularly refined sugar, glucose, and fructose, common in high fructose corn syrup, HFCS, and even fruit juice. Why is sugar so dangerous? Causes fatty liver and diabetes. High sugar intake, especially fructose, heavily burdens the liver, easily leading to non-alcoholic fatty liver disease and insulin resistance, precursors to type 2 diabetes. Promotes inflammation. Sugar increases inflammatory markers in the body, and chronic inflammation is at the root of numerous diseases. Creates AGEs, advanced glycation end products. When blood sugar is high, sugar molecules attach to proteins and fats, forming AGEs. This process is like caramelizing your body from the inside, damaging blood vessels and connective tissues, and accelerating the aging of skin and organs. Feeds cancer cells. Cancer cells love sugar. They use it as their primary fuel to grow and divide. Keeping blood sugar low might be a factor in cancer prevention. Sinclair's advice: minimize sweets, pastries, and sugary drinks. Read food labels carefully. Sugar hides in many processed foods, sauces, breakfast cereals, flavored yogurts, etc. Be mindful of fruit. Berries are generally delicate due to fiber and polyphenols, but they should be limited to overly sweet fruits. Especially avoid fruit juice. Even 100% pure juice. Juicing removes most fiber, leaving concentrated sugar that spikes blood sugar rapidly. Eating whole fruit is much better. He believes the body can create glucose when needed via the liver, which is much smarter than flooding it with external sugar. Silent killer number 2, bread and refined flours. The second group Sinclair drastically reduced is refined carbohydrates, especially white bread, white pasta, white rice, and processed breakfast cereals. He shared that he used to eat bread daily, but his biochemical markers, especially blood sugar, improved immediately upon eliminating it. Why are refined carbs detrimental? Cause blood sugar spikes. They digest too quickly, flooding the bloodstream with glucose suddenly, similar to eating pure sugar. Create the insulin roller coaster. The body reacts to the sugar shock by releasing large amounts of insulin to lower blood sugar. This often leads to blood sugar dropping too low afterward. Reactive hypoglycemia, making you feel tired, sluggish, irritable, and hungry again, due to the hunger hormone, ghrelin. This harmful cycle repeats itself. Induce brain fog. These blood sugar swings also affect the brain's energy supply, causing a lack of focus and mental cloudiness. Sinclair mentioned that since cutting them out, he never felt more focused. Low nutrients, high empty calories. Refining strips away most fiber, vitamins, and essential minerals. Instead, if you eat carbs, choose complex whole-grain carbohydrates like brown rice, whole oats, quinoa, legumes, and starchy vegetables, sweet potatoes. They digest slower, don't shock your system, and are nutrient-rich. Silent killer number 3, meat, especially red and processed meats. This was another significant change for Sinclair, particularly relevant given his family history of heart disease. He substantially reduced his intake of meat, especially red and processed varieties. Reasons: cholesterol and triglycerides. Reducing meat helped significantly improve his blood lipid profiles. Red and processed meats are often high in saturated fat and cholesterol, which aren't heart-healthy in excess. Impact on longevity genes, Sirtuins and mTOR. Sinclair suggests plant proteins have a more favorable amino acid profile for activating sirtuins. Conversely, consuming too much animal protein, especially red meat, can powerfully activate the mTOR pathway. While mTOR is vital for cell growth, necessary when young or building muscle, excessive and constant mTOR activation in adulthood is linked to accelerated aging and diseases like cancer. A more plant-forward diet maintains a better balance in these pathways. Inflammatory and precancerous compounds, processed meats, sausages, bacon, ham, often contain high levels of salt, nitrites, and other preservatives that can cause inflammation and increase the risk of colorectal cancer. Cooking red meat at high temperatures can also create carcinogenic compounds. However, Sinclair isn't entirely anti-meat. He states, "I'm not saying you must give up meat entirely. Eating meat occasionally, especially fish, is also good because fish contains beneficial omega-3 fatty acids." He advises prioritizing plants and treating meat as a small, infrequent part of the diet. Silent killer number 4, dairy products. Eliminating dairy was an experiment for Sinclair. Even though he wasn't allergic or lactose intolerant, he was surprised to find his health continued to improve. Potential reasons? Reduced overall protein load. Like reducing meat, cutting dairy helps lower total protein intake, potentially aiding in better regulation of the mTOR pathway. Growth hormones. Cow's milk naturally contains growth hormones like IGF-1, necessary for rapid calf development. Some research suggests consuming IGF-1 from milk might be linked to promoting unwanted cell growth and certain cancers in adults and activating mTOR. Potential hidden inflammation. Some individuals might be sensitive to milk proteins, casein, whey, without realizing it, leading to low-grade chronic inflammation. Many delicious and nutritious plant-based milk alternatives, like almond, soy, oat, and cashew milk, are available today. You could experiment to see if reducing dairy benefits you. Silent killer number 5. Alcohol. For years, we often heard that a little red wine daily might benefit the heart due to resveratrol. However, Sinclair notes that the latest research emerging over the last 5 years does not support this view. Recent large meta-analyses indicate there's likely no completely safe level of alcohol consumption. Certain diseases, especially cancer, risk increase even with tiny amounts. But purported cardiovascular benefits of moderate drinking might have been exaggerated or confounded by other lifestyle factors. Moderate drinkers often tend to have healthier lifestyles overall. Alcohol negatively impacts sleep, liver health, and brain function, and increases the risk of many diseases. Therefore, Sinclair decided to completely cut alcohol from his regimen. However, he does offer a small tip for those who genuinely enjoy wine. Choose wines made from grape varieties sensitive to environmental stress, as they tend to contain more resveratrol. He suggests Pinot Noir as one of the best options in this regard. So, those are the 5 food groups Dr. David Sinclair advises us to avoid or minimize to protect our health and slow aging. Sugar, refined flour, meat, mainly red processed, dairy, and alcohol. Cutting back on these enemies could lead to significant positive changes in your body. David Sinclair's lifespan created significant buzz worldwide, capturing the scientific community's attention and the general public's interest in health and longevity. Naturally, the book has also sparked debate and differing opinions alongside praise. BookSmart Insights looked into some common feedback found online. Breakthrough vision and hope. Many readers feel inspired by the core message, aging isn't an unchangeable destiny. The book offers an optimistic perspective on the future of human health, explains complex science understandably. Sinclair skillfully translates intricate genetics and biochemistry concepts like Sirtuins, NAD+, epigenome, using relatable examples and metaphors, making them accessible even to lay readers. Provides up-to-date information. The book synthesizes cutting-edge research in the field of aging, giving readers a comprehensive overview of current scientific discoveries. Offers concrete, actionable advice. Beyond theory, Sinclair provides practical suggestions on diet, exercise, and lifestyle that people can start implementing. Speculative nature of some claims. Some scientists feel Sinclair is occasionally overly optimistic or draws conclusions somewhat prematurely based on preliminary studies, especially those in animals. The leap from lab research to safe and effective human application is significant. Strong focus on supplements. Sinclair's detailed discussion of supplements like NMN and resveratrol concerns some, fearing readers might overemphasize searching for a magic pill while neglecting foundational healthy habits. Furthermore, these supplements are often expensive and lack definitive long-term human efficacy data. Potential conflicts of interest. Sinclair previously had ties to biotech companies. Although he states in the book and subsequent interviews that he no longer sells supplements and endorses no specific brands, this history still raises skepticism for some. Can induce anxiety or unnecessary pressure. An intense focus on anti-aging might create pressure to adhere to strict regimens or foster excessive worry about aging. Lifespan is an essential and worthwhile read. It challenges old paradigms about aging and provides a wealth of valuable scientific information. However, we should approach it with a critical mindset. Absorb the fundamental knowledge about aging mechanisms and lifestyle advice, healthy eating, exercise, intermittent fasting. Evidence widely supports these. Regarding supplements, treat that information as a reference. Do further research from multiple sources, and always prioritize advice from healthcare professionals before deciding to use anything. As the philosopher Socrates said, "The unexamined life is not worth living." Let's apply that to health information. Always inquire, verify, and adapt it to your circumstances. So, we've journeyed through the core philosophy and advice of Dr. David Sinclair, distilled from his book, Lifespan and Research. The central message is clear. We can influence our aging rate. Chronological age is just a number. Our body's biological age truly matters and is more within our control than we might think. Let's recap the concrete actions you can start taking today. 1. Exercise smartly. Don't just move. Try incorporating short bursts of high-intensity exercise, about 10 minutes of breathlessness 3 times a week to activate hormesis. 2. Experiment with intermittent fasting, extending your overnight fast 12 to 14 hours. Then gradually increase to 16 hours if comfortable. Listen to your body. 3. Eat a plant-based rainbow. Load up on diverse, colorful fruits and vegetables, prioritizing organic whole foods. Focus on stressed plants rich in polyphenols like green tea, berries, dark leafy greens, and olive oil. 4. Cut down the 5 enemies. Minimize sugar, refined flour, red processed meat, dairy, and alcohol. This step might bring the most significant changes. 5. Prioritize sleep. Although not heavily emphasized in the initial summary, sufficient high-quality sleep is crucial for cellular repair and recovery, directly impacting aging. 6. Manage stress. Chronic stress also accelerates aging. Find healthy coping mechanisms that work for you, like meditation, yoga, or spending time in nature. The most important thing is don't try to change everything at once. As James Clear writes in Atomic Habits, a book BookSmart Insights has previously featured, start with small, manageable changes and be consistent. Maybe this week you focus solely on cutting out sugary drinks. Next week, add an extra serving of greens to your dinner. The week after, you walk faster to get slightly more breathless. Small, sustainable changes compounded over time create massive differences. Remember, this is a marathon, not a sprint. The goal is to build a sustainable, healthy lifestyle, not a temporary crash diet or extreme workout plan. My dear friends, exploring the secrets of longevity with Dr. David Sinclair and Lifespan has been fascinating and hopeful. It reminds us that health and youthfulness aren't entirely down to luck or genetics. They largely depend on the choices we make every single day. Age might be a number, but how you care for your body today determines how you'll feel at 50, 60, 70, or even 100. Let's turn this valuable knowledge into action, starting with the smallest steps. This video from BookSmart Insights has provided helpful information and inspiration to take a more active role in managing your health and slowing down your aging process. What do you think about Dr. Sinclair's advice? Have you tried any of these methods? And what were your results? Please share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. BookSmart Insights loves hearing from and learning alongside our fantastic community of readers. If you find this video helpful, please don't hesitate to hit the like button to show your support. Share this video with friends and loved ones you think would benefit from these secrets to living healthier and longer lives. Most importantly, if you love exploring knowledge from great books for self-development, please subscribe to the BookSmart Insights channel and click the notification bell so you don't miss any future videos. We have many more exciting books to explore together. Thank you so much for watching. Wishing you all enduring health, youthfulness, abundant energy, and joy on your daily journey of self-improvement. Goodbye for now, and see you in the following video from BookSmart Insights.